Vinny comes up and tells me Charlie's dead.
I just watched a close-up video of Charlie Kirk getting pewed in the neck.
Kelly comes and signals to me Charlie's dead. We've had Charlie on the podcast. I think Charlie's a very important guy in America for our youth.
Got pewed in the throat so that in his final moments he couldn't in fact speak. I think that's just poetic justice.
Do you see the pattern? Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the 10th of September. At the age of 19, Kirk had founded the Turning Point organization.
With
Charlie Kirk of Turning Point USA.
Okay, so Charlie, what are you looking to accomplish?
Focusing on driving youth towards the conservative right-wing side of politics. The most significant way he made this possible was through events he held mainly on college campuses, where he challenged people to prove him wrong. Focus here.
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah?
The challenge to prove him wrong was through debate. Many people would consider his views to be extreme, but he encouraged others to challenge him and prove him wrong. And he was assassinated. They got the "let's have a conversation" guy. Who are they? Here, they does not refer to the left-leaning people, or politicians for that matter. I mean, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man, was the one who shot him. But this "they" does not refer to him as well. It's bigger than that. Big enough not to be limited to victims from the conservative side. Both sides have faced the wrath of a certain "they." Just a few months ago, on June 14th, Democrat representative from Minnesota, Melissa Hortman, her husband Mark Hortman, and their dog were shot and killed in their home. The attacker, Vance Luther Bolter, conducted extensive research on Melissa and had a hit list of 45 elected officials, all Democrats. On August 8th this year, a police officer was killed when a gunman opened fire near the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention headquarters and the Emory University campus in Atlanta. Suspect Patrick Joseph White had blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him sick and depressed. He had increasingly focused on the vaccine as a source of his grievances and was found dead after the shooting. Just last year, Donald Trump faced 2 assassination attempts, both by politically motivated people. Notice how I skipped over the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. There was a reason for it. You see the reactions people had to the assassination. Irrespective of their ideologies, they unilaterally supported the attacker. Luigi Mangione was made into an icon, a symbol of revolt. And now you see the reactions people had to Charlie Kirk's death. A lot of people were condemning the attacks, mourning his death and paying their respects. And on the other side, you see the whole of Reddit shitting over Charlie. Major media channels are speaking of why he had it coming.
Full details of this, that we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this.
People on TikTok are celebrating his death, and streamers are laughing.
But yeah, I'm glad he's dead. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm kidding. Am I? I don't. No, I'm just kidding.
The exact same thing happened when Melissa Hortman and her family were assassinated. Just this time, the sides were reversed. The same thing happened after the shooting at the CDC headquarters and the assassination attempts on Trump. Sure, the attack in itself is wrong, but it's not the biggest problem when the person being attacked has had a history of walking over other people's lives and exploiting them. It becomes a problem when the people are divided on the attack. The primary reason behind the decline of a country is not the collapse of its government, but the division within its people. What we saw recently happen in Nepal was not the fall of Nepal, but its government. People were united against corruption, nepotism, and exploitation, and decided to take their fate into their own hands and revolted. The reactions we saw after the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO were similar to those. But it's not the same with all the political assassinations happening lately. Mind you, I do not support these attacks to begin with, but the divide among people is directly causing these attacks to increase more and more. Forget about the political side, race, gender, religion. Nothing is spared from this great divide. People are increasingly becoming more and more hostile towards each other, and there is an increase in that in-group, out-group thinking. Everyone is sitting on a landmine of extreme beliefs, and all it takes to detonate the landmine is just a single different opinion from an opposing person. Suddenly, you're labeled a Nazi, racist, woke, incel, femcel, or whatever. You take one glance at social media, and all that exists is the junk of polarization. The certain they that got to Charlie Kirk, to Melissa Hortman, and many common people are the very reason behind this great divide. They are the tech oligarchs. You look over to what's been happening in Nepal, and the entire protest erupted on social media. The people mobilized through social media, they were motivated through social media. Their anger rose because they saw their corrupt politicians' children enjoying luxurious lives through social media. Heck, they even elected their new prime minister on the goddamn Discord. The damn phone, the internet, and especially the social media gets into our heads. Everything that you've seen online is driven by engagement. The more you spend time on a specific thing, the more you engage with it. The more ads can be shown to you, and the more money can be made by these tech giants. Along with them, now there are AI giants who just want you to speak, draw, sing, watch, and tell. Just engage to the max so they can pounce on every ounce of information you provide to them and use it. To make people stay and drive this engagement, these tech giants have developed entire algorithms that push extreme takes, opinions, or behaviors to the top, irrespective of the side those behaviors take. The crazier the reaction these opinions get, the more the opinions are pushed higher. Soon, similar extreme opinions or behaviors are then clubbed together to keep people with similar views in one place, creating a loop of engagement, and we end up with an echo chamber. Of course, the story of extreme takes fueling extreme ideals into people's minds, causing absolute chaos, is a tale as old as time. But just for a second, take a glance at Forbes' top 10 billionaires list. Most of them are the tech bros, and most of them are from the United States. There were and still are movies, music, plays, and whatnot to influence the minds of people, but the dawn of unchecked, unleashed capitalistic lords of the tech world has steered the internet into an alternate reality, a reality no other form of media was able to create. It is very, very close to us. We ourselves can post on it and be a part of reality. Not just post, but openly react and criticize. This makes us vulnerable. The other forms of media that I spoke of were art forms. Yes, a few times one could create something controversial and become the talk of the town, but mostly efforts were needed to become popular, be recognized, or leave a spark in people's minds. Social media, on the other hand, is largely an engagement farm. Adding that, our increased vulnerability and dependency on it has significantly increased the impacts it has on our daily real lives, on real communities, and public agencies. But that's not the worst part. The unchecked, unleashed lords of the tech world aren't stupid. On the contrary, they are much smarter than us. They know exactly how much power this internet holds, and they love every bit of it. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Small things like discrimination on various bases, hatred of opinions, are the jobs of us common people. There are no such things amongst the top brass. Often they work in unison to keep control of the internet. And when you look at who has donated the most amounts of money to both political parties, you'll find some familiar names. The politicians are the sold-out class. They don't have skin in the game, and all they care about is money and power. The tech giants own the data, the resources to use the data, the skill force to make use of it, and the user base to exploit everything. They will simply come together and lobby the sellouts and throw as much money as needed to get the regulations their way. This uncheckedness has led to the ever-growing algorithms of polarization, and mind you, they are as powerful, if not more than, the speeches of the Austrian painter. If you don't believe me, just look at any country in the world that has a significant online population, and you'll see the results. Every single one of these countries, their respective governments spend massive amounts of funds on social media to make the people on their side, and the party that is able to it in the most effective way wins. America is the big daddy amongst all these countries. When America sneezes, the world gets cold. Every big tech giant is from America, and these tech giants have their tentacles spread across almost every field that affects humanity. So, when these giants get in bed with the American government, try to mold it in its own ways, and strengthen their algorithms of polarization without any significant consequences, it starts a cascading effect onto the real life starting in America and eventually reaching the entire world. The effects begin with an increasing sense of distrust in general public, then evolving into lack of empathy and eventually violence. Problem with America is we have already reached the third stage.
He just got shot! Holy